In Philadelphia, the Pennsylvania SPCA law enforcement team are rushing to an address in the north of the city.
Hey, James, what's the name of the little block?
Officer Wayne Smith and Director of Law Enforcement George Bengal have received a report of some large animals being kept at the property.
Okay, we received a call from the shelter that it's possible that there's a tiger, a bull, and other farm animals in the basement of a residential property. We're going out there right now to check it out. We coming down Fifth Street right now, James.
Look at this mess. These animals are illegal in the city. They're not allowed to own them. I'm being told that the condition of these animals is supposedly not good. Is that it right there?
Yeah, there it is.
Animal Care and Control, known as PACA, are at the scene and have already loaded up some of the animals. The officers fill Smith in on the situation.
What else we got?
Oh,
they said there's something in the basement.
Tiger in the basement.
A tiger or a bobcat.
So we can't go in.
But we can't go in there and just go in the basement. Bobcat, tiger, or something.
So we got to get a warrant.
Bingo questions the animal's owner, Alexander Rivera, about the reported tiger.
That's a baby bull. I'm
Baby bull.
Yes, sir. A baby bull. They were gonna be butchered on Broad Street, and I bought them for my kids.
Rivera says he doesn't have a tiger, but admits to keeping a bull that his friends have removed from the property. He agrees to let Smith and Bingle search his house.
We have no more animals in here at all.
No, sir.
Rivera claims he wanted to save the animals from being butchered, but under Philadelphia law, keeping farm animals in the city is illegal. PACA officer Susan Sojourner is also concerned about the animals' health and the conditions in which they're being kept.
When we found it, we just seen makeshift barns. We seen the animals in little pens, caged up, just standing there, and chickens running all around. And then we were bombarded by the neighbors who don't want us to take them. So that's why we had to call for backup from the police, because it was a lot going on a little while ago.
As well as the 2 goats, the team has loaded up a handful of chickens and ducks and 2 sheep. While Smith and Agent Darlene Souza continue their search of the yard, Souza hears a cry from the street.
Whatever he's dragging down the street is a goat or something. Go up there and see what he got on that block.
Look, this only happened in Philadelphia, I guess.
Smith takes chase. The bull is being dragged down the street at the back of the property. Bingle and Smith manage to grab it as it heads towards the oncoming traffic. Fearing Rivera was in trouble, his friends had tried to conceal the bull, but Rivera is willing to cooperate with the agents. Bingle and Souza give him some strong words of advice.
Get out of the farm animal business,
Okay,
please.
okay.
You're getting a big break here, I'm telling you right now. When you do the math, for each one of these animals is a $750 violation. You got all these chickens over here,
Yes,
you got the sheep, you got the goats.
All right, I respect you, man.
Okay, so I'm giving you.
It's a happy ending.
Yeah, it is. You do the right thing. You're doing the right thing by surrendering.
Look, God is going to see me
We'll
because they
find
were
a
going to
rescue,
kill
they'll
them.
go up
Okay,
on a
these are
farm
gonna go
where
to
they
a farm.
belong.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir,
In the
man.
city
Look.
is no place for them.
The owner has agreed to sign over the animals to the Pennsylvania SPCA.
This is like a fantasy dream that I was living, but it's all ended today. But you know what? It's always going to stay in my heart.
All the animals are going back to our shelters so the veterinarian can examine them, and hopefully we can send them up to a rescue a farmer somewhere to get them out of the city.
Back at the Pennsylvania SPCA headquarters, the staff helps unload the rescued farm animals. They will be kept in the barn until they are given a thorough medical examination. But inside the shelter, there's another emergency. A dog has been handed in with a horrific injury. His collar is so tight, it's become deeply embedded into the flesh on his neck. Officer Leonard Knox and Agent Darlene Souza have been called to the treatment room to witness the dog's condition.
You can see the chain board here, but on top you really can't see it. Oh my, it's starting to grow the skin over it, right? Yeah.
The wound is partially covered by the dog's thick coat, but is giving off a terrible putrid smell, a sign that it's clearly infected.
I have a slight cold and I can still smell that.
Big boy, yes he is.
Bad is bad, but the dog's temperament is very good for the condition he's in.
I will remove the chain.
The dog, named Zeus, was handed in to Animal Care and Control by his owner.
They state that they got him 4 months ago, and they didn't realize that the neck had the embedded collar in them. They didn't notice it. 4-month, don't smell that.
The strong smell tells the officers that Zeus's owner must have known something was seriously wrong.
Very upset. I mean, common sense, you could see it, you could smell it coming from the dog, and I don't understand how the owners didn't know. The dog's definitely, you know, it's hurting them.
Zeus needs immediate surgery. Dr. Rao sedates him. Once he's sedated, the first job is to cut the thick chain link collar.
Take one picture real quick for you.
Agent Greg Jordan has joined them to help take photographs of the dog's condition.
Since I've been here, this is the very first embedded collar I've seen. I want to make sure we get pictures of him while he's sedated, you know, for evidence, and in case he goes to court, they could see exactly how bad it was. I know it's not going to be the last embedded collar I ever see, but yeah, I don't want to see anything like this again.
You gotta come in again.
Knox cuts through the link. Only now can they see how deeply the collar has become embedded.
It's embedded in the flesh. So that's been growing for a long time like that.
It's taken at least 3 weeks for the skin to grow around the collar. But Zeus must have been suffering for many months as the chain slowly cut into his neck. Knox is horrified by the extent of the neglect.
It's, in my opinion, there's no way no one can know that that's not like that, because you can smell it. And if you're feeding him and he looks like he's been being fed, you should know that that was it.
The agents are determined to confront Zeus's owner, while Zeus has his own battle to fight in surgery. At the Pennsylvania SPCA Medical Center, Dr. Rao is getting ready to perform surgery on Zeus, the German Shepherd. A thick chain link collar is embedded deep in the dog's neck. If left, the chain could eventually choke him and has already become severely infected. Zeus was in a lot of pain and has now been sedated, ready for the operation.
It's a horrible thing. Makes me very angry.
CEO Howard Nelson and Chief of Operations Lisa Rogers observe as the team set to work.
Right now, the dog is stable under anesthesia. He's breathing well. He has a regular heart rate. His pulses feel good. So in terms of being under anesthesia, all is well.
Veterinary extern Sam Tucker regulates Zeus's heart rate as Dr. Rao makes his first incision.
In wounds like these that have been present for a long period of time, a couple months, some of the tissue that's involved dies off, and that tissue is no longer viable. So what the doctor's doing is just getting rid of, cleaning up, and removing all of that dead tissue so he can suture together the healthy tissue.
Results of cruelty and neglect are sadly a frequent sight at the SPCA. But Zeus's case has left Nelson shocked and upset.
It's such an unnecessary crime, and it was so infected that we could smell it from the back door of the shelter as the dog came in, and it's such an unnecessary crime, one that could be easily avoided, but it causes so much pain for the animal. I mean, it's like a slow cut, and then the skin started. In this case, the skin was healing over the chain, so it makes me feel bad.
While the team works on the other side of Zeus's neck, Officer Leonard Knox and Agent Darlene Souza head out to the home of Zeus's owner. They plan to cite her for animal cruelty. With 28 years on the job, Knox is the Pennsylvania SPCA's longest-serving officer. He's seen a lot of cases, but is deeply moved by Zeus's condition and is determined to seek justice on his behalf.
We're going to see if this owner is home and cite her for the condition of the animal. And she'll have to explain to a judge why the dog was in the condition that it was in and why it wasn't being treated.
It's a good dog. I mean, as bad as it was embedded, he acted pretty good.
Yeah, the temperament was great.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised at that, because a lot of times when they're suffering like that, they don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
They think every time they move, it's you that's doing this to them.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing at all because the dog is suffering.
You want to talk to me?
Yes.
From the dog?
About the dog, reference to the dog.
Okay.
Back in surgery, an hour has passed, and Zeus's operation is nearly over. The collar and dead skin have been removed, and over 50 stitches are holding the wound together.
I am putting the last suture. Okay, you almost done all the sutures.
So he did really well under anesthesia. He was stable the whole time. We're gonna monitor him and see how it goes.
The operation has gone well.
Yeah, I am happy. I did well. Everything going well smoothly. I feel very happy.
Back at Zeus's home, his owner has denied knowing Zeus was injured. But the agents didn't believe her and have cited her for animal cruelty.
You gotta know. I mean, you can hear the dog. I'm sure he's howling. He's in pain. You can smell it. You have to know that. You pet the dog. You can feel the collar.
She received her summary citation to appear in court for lack of veterinarian treatment.
So what we're gonna do is wait till we have court and we'll go in there and see what the judge have to say.
If found guilty, Zeus's owner faces a maximum fine of $750 and up to 90 days in jail. The Pennsylvania SPCA is a nonprofit organization. Thanks to public donations, it's able to rescue around 7,000 dogs and 10,000 cats each year. But its latest arrivals are more unusual. Dr. Ravi Mararka is examining the 2 goats and young bull rescued yesterday from a house in downtown Philadelphia. First up is the adult female goat.
The chest and the heart sounds okay.
The nanny is in good health, but Mararka is concerned about the younger goat.
He has eye discharge and he has a nasal discharge. That is a sign of upper respiratory problem. So he's already put since yesterday on antibiotics, and hopefully within 5-6 days he's going to clear up. He has a little breathing problem that's expected with upper respiratory problem. Otherwise he looks fine. We're going to keep a watch, keep giving antibiotic, and we will see how it does.
The goat will be closely monitored by the medical team over the coming days.
I think he's enjoying a little scratching on the neck area. Right? Are you scratching? Oh.
Last but not least is the young bull.
He's a Holstein calf, and looking at his physical exams and all those things, he looked like in a good shape. I don't think there's any problem.
The bull is only 9 months old, but fully mature, it could grow to weigh over 2,000 pounds and will need plenty of space to live in.
It's been crazy to see all these farm animals in the middle of the heart of the cities. I mean, they need something like a barn and farm where they can move around and have a grazing place where they can go outside and walk around.
The bull and goats are left to enjoy the comfort of their barn, while the Pennsylvania SPCA tries to find them a suitable new home. Philadelphia is home to 1.5 million residents and 1.5 million pets. While in many homes, pets are a cherished part of the family, the Pennsylvania Humane Law Enforcement Team works tirelessly to protect those less fortunate. In West Philly, Agent Betty Sorrell is working on a new case. She has just checked out the backyard of an address where she has been told there's an injured dog. Officer Wayne Smith joins her at the scene.
Yeah, there's 2 of them back there. One's the neck is bad.
That's the one with the
Sorrell has spotted the dog. It's in bad condition and needs to be seized right away.
All right, let's knock on his door, see what we can hear.
The dog's owner is out, but his fiancée, Nashia, is home.
Hey, sweetie.
The injured dog is called Duchess. She has a nasty open wound on her neck. It looks like she may have been bitten by one of the other 2 dogs in the house.
It's terrible, baby.
Duchess belongs to Nashia's fiancé, but Nashia knows she needs immediate medical care and agrees to sign her over.
He's going to be pretty upset with us removing the dog.
He'll get over it. He'll get over it.
I told him, I said, look, you don't do what you're supposed to do, these are the things that's going to happen. And that dog is not in no really good shape. She shouldn't, and he doesn't.
And I know he's going to talk to you before he talks to us, but you clearly tell him that he can be charged with animal cruelty. And if the dog dies in his care, he'll be charged with animal cruelty too, and that's a felony. He'll be locked up and have to pay bail and the whole shebang. So this is a good thing. You pretty much tell him I was looking out for you. Okay. All right, now. So we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, I got to leash in the car.
Let's go inside, baby.
Nashia has told the agents that her fiance cannot afford to pay for vet care.
Come on, Duchess. It's all right. Come on.
Smith and Sorrell are glad she is cooperating, and Duchess will now receive the medical care she urgently needs.
There's nothing malicious going on here. The lady's clearly concerned about the dog. Before this can turn into anything where we pressing charges, the caretaker of the person that owns the dogs is surrendering them to us, and we just gonna wipe this slate clean with that.
But before they leave, Smith has one more thing to discuss with Nashia. With one dog already injured, Smith is concerned about the other 2 dogs.
I think that one dog is perfect for y'all. Having that one puppy, concentrate on that one dog, and everything will be okay. Because what happens is that one gets bigger, that one's already big. They start fighting, it gets another wound on the neck, you got the same thing again.
This is hard.
Yeah,
this is hard.
Think about it. Think about it, ma'am. And we're not going to rush you.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Thank you. You gave me a lot to think about.
Okay.
Yeah. And call anytime, you know? Okay. If I'm not there, you get my voicemail, I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right?
Thank y'all very much.
No problem.
All right.
At the Pennsylvania SPCA shelter, Agent Sorrell has brought the recently rescued pit bull to be examined by Dr. Ravi Mararka.
Oh dear, what's happening?
Her name is Duchess.
Okay.
And apparently the owner of the dog had no means to get this dog vet care, and he was just going to let it go.
Hey, Duchess.
It's okay, baby.
Mararka tenderly inspects the large wound and discovers it's not a dog bite.
This one is a very bad staph and strep infection.
Ooh.
This is basically, it's called layman term called hot spot.
A hot spot, or pyotraumatic dermatitis, is a bacterial infection of the skin similar to eczema. In human conditions, the infection spreads rapidly, causing the skin to become swollen and painfully itchy.
She's so calm. Do you think it's because she's in pain?
Probably.
You're so calm.
Now that she has all the facts, Sorrell wants to pay Duchess's owner another visit. She wants to check that his other 2 dogs will be properly cared for.
I would like to speak with the man who was responsible for not getting this dog vet care and let him know how bad this was and kind of gauge his reaction. Good girl.
An hour's drive from Philadelphia and a whole world away from the place where they were rescued, the 2 Anglo-Nubian goats are settling into their new home. They've been adopted by Amy Ward and are being given lunch by her nieces, Megan and Maddie.
The big one's Lola. The girls, Megan and Maddie, helped me name them. And as you can see, here at the farm, they've blended right in. And they love their oats, and the girls love to feed them.
The Holstein bull they were rescued with was sent to New Jersey to help in a wetlands conservation project. And the goats are doing their own fair share of grazing.
I think this was really quite a contrast to what they were used to. Come on, Lola.
The youngest goat, now named Ray, has fully recovered from his respiratory infection. It's a perfect outcome for everyone.
It's a happy ending here at Rooster Run Farm.
It's been 2 weeks since Zeus, the German Shepherd, received surgery on his neck to remove a deeply embedded collar. Today, Dr. Ravi Mararka is examining the wound to see how it is healing.
Hey Jude, can I see your neck? No, ventral side. The collar was very deeply embedded on the ventral side of the neck. Right now it looks very good. The wounds are healing pretty good. It's still on antibiotics. We're gonna keep it for a few more days on antibiotics. And also, I think we're gonna stop the pain medication now.
The wound is healing nicely, but Zeus is lethargic. Something is wrong. Veterinary technician Angela Messer shows Moraka a plastic clip from a collar that Zeus vomited earlier.
He hasn't been eating or drinking for the last 3 days.
What I like to do is we may do the abdominal X-ray today. See if any.
Moraka isn't taking any chances. He wants X-rays taken of Zeus's stomach.
Our concern is that there is more of the collar left in his stomach, considering we found that he threw up that piece of collar. So what we're going to do is do 2 views of his abdomen, and just to be sure that there isn't any remaining collar in the stomach. And we're also going to draw some blood work to do a CBC in chemistry.
He's a really good boy, right? He look not the happy dog, so I'm just concerned with it. So we just wanted to make sure that everything is okay.
It's getting late, and the staff is starting to leave the shelter. But before he heads home, Moraka wants to check the results of Zeus's tests. He examines the X-rays of the dog's intestines.
It does not look right because some of the portion of the intestines are getting narrower at some places, and some places it look like they are twisted. It's looking very bizarre what it is. I mean, it's going in all directions just like a veins. So we don't know.
Moraka decides Zeus needs a second operation, an internal exploration of his intestines. It's a high-risk procedure, and there's an added complication. Zeus's blood work shows he is dangerously low in protein, which could prevent him from healing after the surgery.
So I'm scared that if I'm gonna open the juice and with that kind of low protein, first of all, whether he's gonna pull through the surgery or not. And second thing is that after I close him, he has to heal the incision line or sutures. With the low protein, I won't think he's gonna heal up.
But Zeus's condition is worsening. Moraka knows time is running out.
It's almost 4 to 5 o'clock, and if we had to perform the surgery, we have to perform in the night. I may lose some of my staff also because it's time to go home, but I told them that this is an emergency. If we're not gonna operate him now, I don't think this dog gonna make it.
It's 7 o'clock in the evening. The Pennsylvania SPCA is now closed for the day, but a few of the medical staff have volunteered to stay behind to help Dr. Ravi Moraka perform an emergency operation on Zeus, the German Shepherd.
He's losing protein from someplace, so we don't know from where. So that's why we are doing this emergency surgery in the night on Saturday, where we should be with our family.
Zeus hasn't eaten for 3 days. Moraka suspects something is blocking his intestines and is giving Zeus an internal exploratory exam. It's a high-risk operation. Zeus may not survive the surgery, but without it, his chances of survival are almost none.
We try our best, but we never know how it's going to be wind up.
Once inside, Moraka starts to examine Zeus's intestine, inch by inch. An hour into the surgery, he finds what he's been looking for.
Here is an object. Most probably it could be a collar, which he must have ate. But I don't think it's a metal. It could be a plastic, because if it could have been metal, I could have noticed into the X-ray and a barium series.
Moraka works the object up into Zeus's stomach, which he cuts open to remove a large collar. But there's a serious problem. The fine fibers from the collar have worked their way into the intestines and have become tangled in Zeus's intestinal organs.
This thread is stuck somewhere, And what happened, I cannot pull it this thread because this thread may cut the portion of intestine. That's my biggest worry. I don't want to get contaminated. Watch your hand.
The thread is cutting off the blood supply to part of Zeus's intestine, causing it to die. But Maraka cannot simply pull it out. It's so sharp it's cutting Zeus from the inside. To remove it, they will have to make incisions at regular intervals along the intestine to take out the thread a piece at a time. But with the dog's intestine over 5 meters long, it will be a slow process.
It's not looking good. I mean, the way the intestine looks and all those things. The thread got stuck. Oh my God. This is really...
The infected intestine is covered in pus. If it gets contaminated, Zeus is at high risk of septicemia, a fatal form of blood poisoning.
Can you wash it off?
Maraka takes great care to continually flush the area with a saline solution to try to keep it sterile.
It's a nice dog, and poor guy has to go under this several surgery.
By midnight, after 5 hours of surgery, the operation is nearly finished.
Basically, I did my best to remove as much as I can, and now I'm just waiting for the healing process. I don't see any more foreign body in any other portion of intestine. So I just gonna wash thoroughly all that portion, put it inside, and we're gonna watch for 48 hours and see how it responds to the surgery. I mean, that's the best we could do.
Zeus's surgery is over, but the next 48 hours are critical.
I'm worried about septicemia and peritonitis that can happen after the surgery. Come on, baby. Hey, Zeus.
Maraka and the team have done all they can. But after 2 operations, Zeus is extremely weak. They have to be prepared. He may not survive the night.
We're gonna keep a watch all night, and we'll see tomorrow morning.
The next morning across town in West Philadelphia, Agent Betty Sorrell is heading out to meet the owner of Duchess, the pit bull. Lack of veterinary care has left Duchess with a painfully infected wound on her neck. The owner's fiance agreed to sign the dog over, but Sorrell wants to check that their other dogs are being properly cared for.
It was an odd situation. The fiance was the one that actually surrendered the dog because she was concerned for its well-being. And he was not happy, you know. When he called me at first, he tried to get his dog back, and I told him that that was not going to happen because the condition that the dog was in. But he has 2 more dogs at this house. And today I'm just going to go back and follow up, check the condition of the other 2 dogs. So I'm just going to, let him know that I'm still around and that, vet care is something that the owner must provide by law, and he really needs to get on top of this, or he needs to think about surrendering his other dogs. Hi. I'm good. How are you? Thanks. So how are the other dogs doing? Yeah?
You want to see them?
Yeah. Hey, cuties. Hey! They're getting along okay?
Yeah.
That's good. Ooh. I hear a little kennel cough there. Uh-oh.
Sorrell has spotted a problem with the older dog.
Oh, baby, that sounds bad.
I think that only happens when he gets excited.
That actually is normal for kennel cough. When a dog gets excited, or when it's walked a lot, or it's when the cough really comes out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write you up a warning about vet care, and I'm going to have you bring both of these guys in because, like I said, kennel cough is highly contagious.
Sorrell issues the owner an ultimatum.
So I'm going to give you a week on this to get them in. It's going to have to be sometime next week. I recommend doing it during the day. I know you're having some personal problems and things are tight right now. And, we have Duchess. She's recovering. But I don't want to have to take these dogs from you. I know you love your dogs, and I'd rather see you keep them and just, you know, get it together and do right by these guys.
All right, cool.
All right?
I appreciate you. I appreciate your assistance with this. All right.
The 2 male pit bulls that he still has look really good. Their coats are shiny, they're not skinny, you know, they're not lethargic in any way. They look really good. They sound terrible. The one older dog has a heck of a kennel cough going, and so I did give him the warning to provide vet care within a week. And also, since he's going to have the one dog at the vet, I asked that he get the other dog shots as well. I'm trying to give him a chance to get his act together, and he seems like he cares, and I think he wants to. I know he wants to keep his dogs, so I'm hoping that, you know, this is just a wake-up call for him, and that he will step it up a little bit, caring for these dogs.
Sorrel is giving the owner the benefit of the doubt. He has 1 week to prove her right. Four weeks ago, Zeus, the German Shepherd, arrived at the Pennsylvania SPCA. Surgery to remove a deeply embedded collar was only the beginning of his ordeal. Part of a collar had become tangled in his intestines. Vet Dr. Ravi Morarka and his team worked through the night to perform a highly invasive and dangerous operation. Zeus's chances of survival were slim. They had to be prepared for the worst. But against all odds,
Hey, Zeus.
he's made it.
How are you? How are you? Sit.
Having worked so hard to save him, Morarka and Zeus have formed a strong bond.
Thank you. I don't believe what he is doing now. I mean, it makes me so happy. This is an unbelievable story. I mean, today he's in this shape. Come on, Zeus, look here what I got for you. Look here what I got for you. It was a Saturday night, and I had to spend the time with my family. And my kids and my wife, they understand that sometime we had to sacrifice to gain something. If that night, if I could have been not operated this dog, he could have been not survived. He could have been not survived. I mean, it's really, I'm so happy that that night I made the decision and we operated him up to the midnight. And this is the result. I mean, this is the one of the guy who beat all the odds and survived. But you know, this is what keep me working. I mean, a creature like this comes and give me a lot of hopes and happy. You want to go with me at home? I could have taken him, but unfortunately, I already have one dog. But this is my favorite part, right? Right? You want to come home? You want to come home? Right? But who's ever gonna adopt him is gonna be so happy to have him.
Zeus's ordeal is finally over. His owner has been charged with animal cruelty and is awaiting trial. All Zeus needs now is a new family to love him. At the other side of the shelter, Duchess the pit bull with the infected neck has made a great recovery and is now waiting for adoption. But her case isn't closed. Her owner was given an ultimatum to get veterinary care for his 2 other dogs. The deadline has passed, and he hasn't made good on his promise. Agent Betty Sorrel has had enough.
I know he's got some other things going on in his life, but everybody does, you know? And I've given him so much time, I've given him so much leeway, and he's not coming through. And quite frankly, I'm just getting tired of getting jerked around here.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
How you?
What happened?
I couldn't make it down here.
The dog's owner tells Sorrel he doesn't have the money to pay for veterinary care and needs more time.
I've given you so much time to do this. I've tried very hard.
I've been having the money, if you understand.
I know, but I know that, but you know, I mean, at some point you got to realize that maybe you can't afford to have 2 dogs, you know? And I mean, I know that's not a nice thing to realize, but you got to think about it in terms of reality, you know what I'm saying? Like, if those dogs aren't at the vet first thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna cite you. All right?
Sorrel has made her position clear.
If I don't hear from you and see you down there by noon, we'll be back out here.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Uh-huh. I guess you could just call it the final warning. I told him if he's not in a vet clinic tomorrow by noon, I'm coming back here with a citation for him. I think that sometimes perhaps I err on the side of leniency with people just because I do have a lot of empathy for them. I do understand that, you know, life can throw you curveballs a lot of the time. Up until this point, I think maybe he has mistaken my kindness for weakness. I don't think he's doing that any longer.
Unless the dogs are treated, Sorrel will be back to cite the owner for lack of veterinary care. The Pennsylvania SPCA Humane Law Enforcement Team rescues over 10,000 animals each year. Through education, they have helped hundreds of Philly residents become better owners to their pets. While rescuing a dog named Duchess, Agent Betty Sorrel became concerned about the owner's other 2 dogs and insisted he had them treated for a bad case of kennel cough.
If those dogs aren't at the vet first thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna cite you.
Sorrel's perseverance has paid off.
Take care, man.
Back at the house, the owner tells Sorrel he has taken the dogs to the vet, and after checking them out, she's satisfied their kennel cough has gone.
I think when I came down here and told him that I was going to be back out here for his other dog with a citation in my hand, I think that he kind of kicked it into high gear a little bit, and you know, was forced to really start to do something about this.
Finally, Sorrel can close out the case. And it's also a happy ending for Duchess. She's been adopted by Chuck Lord and has a new playmate named Duke.
Come on, Duke. Good boy. I had Duke before I had Duchess for only a short time, and then my girlfriend wanted a dog so we could have a boy and a girl, you know, brother and a sister. And we went out, and she saw Duchess, and she fell in love with her, and then she showed me, and I fell in love with her too, so we decided to bring her home.
Duchess's hotspot injury has fully recovered, and she's returned to her former glory.
That's my good girl. What attracted me to her was the beautiful markings that she has. She was very friendly. She wasn't barking. And when she saw me, she just put her paws up on the gate and looked at me and just kind of put her eyes into mine, and just, that was it. There was nothing that I could do after that. It was really very funny that her name was Duchess. It was very according that I already had a dog named Duke. It went together hand in hand, and it made us laugh at first. And then after seeing them together and the way that they play together, it was just like it was meant to be. Duke and Duchess, they just go hand in hand.
At last, she has a new home and family.
Oh, I love you too.
And Duchess has found her Duke. 2 hours north of Philadelphia, in the heart of the Pocono Mountains, Zeus is also settling into his new home. He's been adopted by David O'Neill, who has a special fondness for German Shepherds. After the 9/11 terrorist attack, O'Neill worked as a rescue recovery worker at Ground Zero, where he developed a love and a respect for the breed.
The reason why I wanted to get a German Shepherd was working along with fire department and police emergency squad during 9/11. NYPD used to had their dogs, their search dogs, and I just loved them ever since then, and I always wanted to get one. He kind of reminds me of one of the dogs that were down there, so I fell in love with him the first time I seen him, and I knew I could give him a good life. And he's like my son I never had. I have 2 daughters, and he's a boy, so he's a really good dog. I couldn't believe what the surgeon had told me, that he had a very slim chance of making it. The people that had the dog, I hope they were punished very well for what they've done, but look at him now. I mean, how could you get any happier than that, right?
It's been a long and difficult journey, But thanks to the remarkable dedication of the Pennsylvania SPCA, Zeus can now look forward to the love and happiness he deserves.
You're a good dog. You glad you're here? I'm glad you're here. You're a good boy.